Here we go. Into another. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to grab a glass. Oh, no! I gotta grab a glass. Well, we can do that here in just a second. We'll wait till a couple people pile in, and then we'll go out and grab our glass. Because we need our glass. Where did I put the whiskey? We need our glass. I think I put it out here with it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Hey, Megan. Hello. I'll be right back. I have to go grab a glass. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere as I trip on every cord in my booth. I'll be right back. I promise. All right. Gotta grab the glass for Whiskey Wednesday. Because we can't have Whiskey Wednesday without whiskey. Am I right? Yeah, unless my plan was to drink the whole bottle. I mean, I guess I could have just drank it out of the little sampler thing that it comes in. But, I have glasses. I can do the glasses. I'm like off kilter here. Let me. I don't want to like tip over the thing though. Don't fall. All right, there we go. All right. I'm excited about this one, and I know at least one person is. At least one other person is in here. And that would be Megan. Let me turn this on too. I forgot to do that earlier. I'm forgetting everything today. What am I doing? It's like I've never done this before, There we go. Fire that bad mamber jamber up. Bring it down here so I can seize it. Yep. Do that. Connect. Live. Perfect. All right. Now it's all up. Now it's all up and ready. There we go. Hello, everybody. This Whiskey Wednesday is going to be a little different and similar to some of the episodes that we've done in the past. This is actually from a collection of short stories, 6 short stories. The book is called Lore and written by our very own, in here in the chat, ask questions. That's what she's here for, Megan. So if you type in !book or !author, it'll tell you a little bit about both. And maybe where you can pick up the book if you like what you hear. And I'm sure you will. This one's a lot of fun. So what we're probably going to do, I'm going to read through the entire introduction. So we'll get the introduction to our collection here. And I'll read a little blurb why we're doing that, and it'll make more sense. And then I'll probably read about half of the first story. I can't read the whole thing to you. You got to pick up the book to see where it goes, right? Absolutely, Megan. You are welcome. You are welcome. And hopefully I do it justice. So, and then we're going to do the whiskey at the end, because we figured out whiskey right before narration, not the best. Unless I want to sound like someone who's had a lot of whiskey. Then it's the best. Thank you for the heart. Appreciate you. Probably not. No, it's not. Hello, Chef Sugar. Nice to see you again as well. As the peeps pile in. All right, let me get this door all closed. Actually, let me take a sip of water before we do that. And then we'll close the door. All right. As the whole camera setup shakes. It's because the back half of this thing is hanging off the edge and I didn't have time to like readjust everything, so we'll try not to be too crazy and knock it off the thing. No promises though. You know? If you guys take a fall, I'll pick you up. It'll be okay. We'll just hope that doesn't happen. Okay. I think we should just dive in, shall we? Should we just dive in? If anybody typed in, let me see if that actually ran, because it doesn't actually tell me on my end if anybody did or not. Yeah, it doesn't say, and that's okay though. That's okay though. Yeah, so we're gonna record this one like we're doing a real audiobook, like we do every time. So hey, you get the unfiltered experience of every time I mess up. You'll see it. When I used to do this on the purple platform of platforms which we shall not name. Hey, it worked. Thank you for testing that there, Emily. I appreciate you. One of my moderators used to turn it into a drinking game where you type in !flub, which I don't think that works right now because I don't have the other part of it activated. But I mess up a lot, so, drink responsibly if that's something you're doing. Just saying. You can switch to water at any time. We won't know. It'll be okay. I might have thrown in extra sometimes. No, I didn't have to. Because sometimes I can't get 3 words out of my mouth correctly. You know the feeling? Alrighty. Let's just jump into it. So yeah, if you have any questions as this comes up, feel free. Ask Megan in the chat there. Ginger tea for me, so I'm safe. All right, well, at least you got that covered. Can you ever have too much ginger tea? I don't think so. I mean, you just get really full and have to pee a lot or something, right? I don't know. I can't type straight sometimes, so felt. All right, well, touche. I'll take that. And that's why we drink at the end, because I don't need help messing up. I don't think so with the ginger tea, right? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there can be too much ginger tea. Alrighty, let's jump into our Whiskey Wednesday story, Lore by Megan Russ, who's in the chat with us today. And here we go, the introduction first. That's a sexy mic. I just happened to look over. Just saying. Well, I mean, thank you. Get it, buddy. Hello, Carmen. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's a Neumann TLM 103. I had it for years. I bought it used because these things are expensive, brand new. And I never got to use it before getting this booth. So finally getting my sound booth, it was quiet enough I could use the thing. Because the bad thing about the good mics is they can hear gnats fart in your booth. You know what I mean? They're way too sensitive. So finally I can use it. It's my baby. All right, enough about the mics. Let's get into the introduction. Oh, helps if I'm on the right screen. Introduction by the DM of Happenstance. Nestled deep in the sea of massive trees of the Treefolk Nation resides the small hamlet of Holly. The setting sun darkens the sky and many-hued green leaves of the canopy. However, inside, it is as dark as true night. For a few moments, only the light twinkling from windows keeps the impenetrable darkness at bay. A door opens, and out walks an elven man of middle years. His long, dark hair that falls to his lower back is kept neatly tucked behind long pointed ears, keeping it back from his angular face. The torch in his left hand makes his sharp features look even more severe. He strides out of the building, closing the door behind him, and heads for the center part of the village. His torchlight illuminates the soft, mossy floor of the forest as he takes each step. I don't like how I enunciated that. Let's try it again. His torchlight illuminates the soft, mossy floor of the forest as he takes each step. The village takes great pains to keep everything natural, yet clean and uncluttered. The flames bring light to the simple wooden benches as he continues to walk toward his objective. Another 20 steps, and he is standing before a large fire pit. Inside a ring of stone sits a large stack of firewood, none of which was harvested by felling a sacred tree. He and others spent hours before, collecting downed branches and tinder. He gracefully steps past the stone ring and lowers the torch to the wood. The hungry flames of the torch lick out and catch the tinder on fire. He circles the pile and repeats the process until the bonfire is well lit for this sacred night. As he steps from the circle of stone, doors around the village fly open, outrun every child in the village, eager and happy faces greeting the evening air. Each of them rushes toward the bonfire. There's a mad scramble of children as they all try to get the best seats available. Catfolk, Fae, Elemental, Feyborg, Satyr, and Elf children pack into the limited bench seating. It takes a few minutes, and an adult appears to get everything in order. Anticipation builds within the children as they all stare at a nearby house. This house, like all the others, is made of wood and covered in vines and plant life. Yet inside is someone the kids eagerly await. Slowly, the front door opens. Light from within casts the figure in the doorway into shadow. The door swings closed behind the person as they shuffle forward. With a soft click from the door, and once again the figure is clad in darkness. A small gust of air causes the figure's robes to billow out around them as they meander closer to the bonfire. A Feyborg man places a well-cushioned chair in front of the fire pit as the shadowy figure reaches the edge of the light. The orange light reveals an ancient elf. His long silver hair cascades over his sagging shoulders. Piercing blue eyes twinkle in the firelight beneath the large, bushy eyebrows. Piercing blue eyes twinkle in the Piercing blue eyes twinkle in the firelight beneath large, bushy brows, dude. Let's try it again. Shoulders. Piercing blue eyes twinkle in the firelight beneath large, bushy brows. His hawkish nose and the abundance of wrinkles marks this elf as the oldest within the hamlet. He slowly lowers himself into the cushioned seat and clears his throat. His voice rings out clearly as he speaks to those who have gathered to hear the story. Listen well, children, on this night. Here on the night of the summer solstice, I will tell you a tale. As all great stories do, this one begins with the gods. Long did they reside in vast nothingness, with only themselves to give each other companionship and entertainment. As they interacted with each other more, the gods began to define themselves, becoming more unique and strange. Eons may or may not have passed before in their uniqueness they grew bored. Each one of them gathered and began to create. First came the world of Earth, though it had yet to be named. They pulled on the stuff of the universe and gathered it to create the skies, the ground, and the water. Plants began to grow, and soon the gods started to create simple creatures. All manner of new life blossomed on Earth, yet still it did not please them. Something was still missing from their existences and the fledgling world of Earth. The plants and animals were lacking. They simply existed to exist. They functioned on instinct and survival. The gods wanted to be acknowledged and their creations appreciated. They started by dividing the land up into places where each of their creations could grow and flourish. When they completed this task, they began the work of creating the races of men. Elves, halflings, gnomes, orcs, feyborg, satyrs, fey, hellspawn, dragonkin, catfolk, lion king, catfolk, lionkin, elementals, and humans began to appear within their regions of the world. For untold generations, the gods kept us separate so that we could all grow strong on our own. Since the gods had an active hand in the world and their people, a spark within the myriad of races began to grow. The powers of the gods began to manifest in their creations, and the people called it magic. Soon, the people began to create wondrous things and grow beyond magic. Soon, the people began to create wondrous things and grow beyond all initial hope of the gods. Generations went by as the gods watched the world content and happy. However, it was not meant to last. In the gods' hubris, they did not see the signs of chaos growing. The longer-lived races were soon outpaced in population by the shorter-lived races. With their higher birth rate, humans were the most prolific, and their numbers began to tax the natural resources. Soon, they began to push beyond their own borders, and for the first time in history, Earth saw conquest. 200 years went by of the human expansion. The other races remained fractured and fought the humans on separate fronts. Cities changed hands, and hundreds... The other races remained fractured and... The other races remained fractured and fought the humans on separate fronts. Cities changed hands 100 times over, and lands full of crops were either trampled or harvested in haste over the next 100 years. 100 years. In haste over the next 100 years. People everywhere suffered the effects of the fighting. Hunger and illness began to eat at the mortal races. This forced everyone to band together against this formidable threat. Now known as the World War, or the War, as some of you young folk have begun to call it, our ancestors began to fight back against the tides of humanity. Armies assembled in open fields against the horde of darkness. The mortal races twisted magic from its purpose of creation to become the most devastating force of destruction. In the blink of an eye, armies and the land under them were scoured from existence by the forces of nature under these war-casters' control. Yet the humans persisted and wielded their own forms of magic. The mortal races were locked into a war of attrition with the world of Earth, paying the price. For 50 devastating years, the war raged before catastrophe struck. We know this now as the Breaking. During the climax of the war, with each race hurling enough destructive magic to destroy the world twice over, the world broke. Magical energies crackled over the surface of our world, changing the very landscape. The land became sea. Mountains became valleys, and volcanoes erupted. The ley lines of the world thrummed with energy so fiercely the lands quaked in response. The gods could not sit idly by any longer, and acted to save our doomed world. The gods took the energy and siphoned it away from their precious creation, leaving only enough to sustain Earth herself, and sparing the mortal races. The gods sent that energy out into the ether, not realizing the energy was tainted by the intentions of the mortals. When the gods filtered it back into the fabric of creation, it became malevolent and dark, spawning the monster races into the world. It fell upon the fragments of the forces of good to safeguard the world from the dangers of the humans. We became their stewards, forcing them to atone for their sins by working the fields and doing the unpleasant jobs. We have the unpleasant duty of controlling their numbers and weeding out those that have the dark seed within them. Since then, we have enjoyed 800 years of peace. We molded our world into one of ingenuity instead of magic. Today, we flourish in our lands, safe and sound. Tonight, we give thanks to the gods for all that we have and pay homage to the surrounding lands. Foresteel Emberose falls silent and smiles at his village. He rises to his feet and leaves the circle, knowing that this will be his last telling of the breaking. This introduction is the writing debut of the author Wolfrun. My DM of Happenstance agreed to write the intro to this world. Wolfrun. My DM of Happenstance agreed to write the intro to this world, and a little bit of the history for you all to enjoy, prior to diving into these dark stories. Thank you for taking the time to read this first published short. I hope you enjoy the rest of these dark stories written by Megan Russ. Yet, this world is broken, but there is hope on the horizon. And there we go. I think that was a fantastic introduction into your world. I really, really enjoyed the introduction. So what we're going to do next, we're not going to stop there. There's still more. We're going to read at least half of Black Bark, the very first short story in this collection of short stories. And then we can talk afterwards about it. So, loved it. Good. I actually really enjoyed this as well. It's fantasy. It's kind of dark fantasy. It's up my alley as well. The poor humans. Yeah. Those poor humans. And we're gonna learn, I think, a little bit more about those humans and what's happening to them. So, feral fungus, yes. Yes. I think it was a fantastic intro. He did a fantastic job. Alrighty, so let's get a drink of water, and then we'll dive into Black Bark. You may know all about the next bit. Okay, all right. Well, now you gotta spill. How do you know all about? Did you happen to read it beforehand, or? Now you gotta let us know. I've read it twice. Okay. Well, I mean that would that would make sense. Why you know what's happening next. Rhonda, hello there. I see you there. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate you. Good to see you again. All right, let's dive more into this dark fantasy, shall we? Let's see here. I will just leave a gap, and then I will produce these as two separate things later. Let's just go, yeah. Give me like a 30-second spread here. Boop. Thank you for something. Something happened. A mini start. Well, thank you. And thank you for all the gifts and stuff and the follows that I was hearing while I was narrating. Thank you. Carrie, how's it going? Oh, yeah. Wow. Hey, hello. For sure. Oh, and it was like a cake with a 5 on it. Well, thank you. A level up Sparks. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Good to see you again. It's been a long few weeks. Well, you've come to the right place to sit back, relax, enjoy some fantastic stories while I tell them. And then at the end, we can relax a little bit more. enjoy a sip of whatever chosen beverage you have. And maybe talk about our story and other stuff. So sit back, relax. Author February was long. Oh, did you do like a whole like thing? Diet Coke. It's a good choice. What's the whiskey today? It's a mystery, even to me. I have no clue. Well, I'll give us all a hint. I just grabbed it off the shelf at random, so hopefully it's a whiskey. It might not be. Let's see. It is not a it is not a whiskey. We are trying something completely different. It's called, the series of these samplers is called Vodka, the Masterclass. It has a question mark on it. All right, I haven't tried many vodkas, so that's apparently what we're gonna do. I just grabbed it at random. I'm like, I need one. Bah! And I grabbed it. Didn't even look at it. So we're doing vodka. So one of them at least. So that's what we're doing afterwards. So we will see. Alrighty, here we go. Black Bark. Spring 2152 AB. After breaking. Usity looks up from the sheep he is shearing. The creature brays loudly in his ear as his eyes lock on the dark forest at the edge of his father's property. The elemental flinches away from the loud sound and glares down at the sheep. Fine, I'll work faster, Usity grumbles. He turns and... let's make it more grumbly. I don't like how I said that. Fine. He's like exasperated, but he needs to be more grumbly. Fine, I'll work faster, Usity grumbles. Let's make him more peeved about it. Fine, I'll work faster, Usity grumbles. He turns the shears into the wool and continues his work. Yeah, okay. I thought I read that wrong for a second. All right, there we go. When he releases the ewe, she brays at him before hopping towards the pen that holds the other shorn sheep. The young man turns to fetch another from the smaller pen. Then, from the smaller pen. Ooh, right in the middle of a breath. Let's just do that whole sentence over. Sheep. The young man turns to fetch another from the smaller pen, when movement at the woodline draws his eye. Who's there? He asks, stepping to the edge of the pen. Usity plucks at edge of the pen. Usity plucks his crossbow from the edge of the pen and scans the dark woods. The trees of the fertile valley grow just beyond the property line. Their thick trunks press together and form a dense wall of greenery bordering the farms that edge the boundary of nature and civilization in the Republic. Nature runs wild within the borders of the fertile valley. Kept in check by the monks of the south and the rangers that roam its interior. After watching the dark trees for a few moments, Usity is convinced there is nothing there. He sets his crossbow down and returns to his work. Each time one of the sheep's mules loudly... Each time one of the sheep mews loudly, he swears... Oh, I see. I did the wrong inflection anyways. There. Each time one of the sheep mews loudly, he swears he can see movement in the trees. Yet, every time he looks, all the young fire elemental sees is a forest of black trunks. He is sure that there is something stalking within the trees by the time he is done. The young man guides the small herd into the barn and locks them up for the night. Usity's eyes dart to the trees as he heads across the expanse between the barn and the two-story house. The grip he has on his crossbow causes his knuckles to whiten. He hardly notices the sun-ripened strawberries in his mother's garden, nor does he notice the lush, neat rows of vegetables his sisters tend by her side each day. Usity can only see the dark tree line. Was the forest always that dark? He glances up at the setting sun and shrugs. My mind is playing tricks on me. Usity grumbles as he opens the door to his family's home. He glances up at the settings. My mind is playing tricks on me. Usity grumbles as he opens the door to his family's home. He sets the heavy bundle of wool from his back. He sets the heavy bundle of wool from his back into the crate just to the right of the door. Usity hangs his bow on the hooks to the other side of the entrance and kicks off his boots into his cubby in the entryway. He slips on his old... That word's not there. Read. He slips on his house shoes. He slips on his house shoes and heads for the washroom. His mother would never forgive him if he showed up at the table covered in wool and oil. "Sheep locked up?" Jedediah asks from his seat on the couch. Usity stops and turns to the den to greet his father. The older fire elemental has his right leg propped up on a footrest. He has a stick down the cast. We know what he's doing. He's scratching. He's not supposed to. Knock it off. A footrest. He has a stick down the cast to itch at the irritated skin. "Didn't the healer say not to scratch at it?" Usity asks his father. "You try having one of these blasted things on." "No, thank you." "Where are the sheep?" Jedediah asks, pulling the twig from beneath the cast between... "Where are the sheep?" Jedediah asks, pulling the twig from between the cast and his injured leg. When the mule had kicked his father's leg, Usity's mother was convinced it would be the end of them for the year. Usity and his two sisters have stepped up to manage the farm during their father's absence. "They're in the barn. I felt like there was something in the woods." Usity stands in front of his father and watches as the man reaches from the pitcher of water to refill his tankard. He steps forward and pours his father a fresh glass and hands it to him. "Thank you," he says to Usity. His son nods as Jedediah takes a long drink from the tankard. "Was it wolves?" he asks, wiping the moisture from his lips. "I don't think so. I never actually saw anything, but I would see movement out of the corner of my eye while I was shearing." Usity shrugs. The movement causes him to notice the filth clinging to his clothing. "Probably a flock of birds," Jedediah says. He shakes his head. "It is the nerves." Nope. Shakes his head. "It is the nerves. You shouldn't be out there alone with the sheep all day. It's making you see things that ain't there." The old farmer sighs. "I'll insist that Zenny put a chair out in the garden and let me out there to help you keep watch tomorrow." "I'm fine, Pa. You need to rest. The healer insisted on it." "I will be resting. Just outside." Jedediah smiles. "Come now, son. Just help me convince your ma to let me sit outside." "As long as you agree to only sit," Usity says to his father. "And keep watch?" The elder fire elemental compromises. "Fine. I will back you up with Ma at dinner. Now I'm going to bathe." His father nods as Usity sips from the... Sips? Bathe. Bathe. His father nods as Usity slips from the room and heads for the bath. A group of human slaves gather around the well on the Lazarin farm. After a long day of working the crops, the humans are exhausted. The overseer lounges on a log a few feet away. His eyes are on the woodline, not his charges. The catfolk is chewing at his lip in focus, his eyes locked on the darkness between the trees. He jumps when a hand lightly touches his shoulder. "Dandian?" The overseer looks up from his seat to the eyes of Tony. The slave looks concerned for his overseer. "Are you well? You look pale," the human observes. Dandian rolls his shoulders and nods. His eyes dart back to the tree line. "Yes, I'm well. I just thought I saw something in the wood. The group of 6 slaves turned their gazes toward the woods as well. All the men searched for any sign of movement Dandian was looking for. The movement. All the men searched for any sign of the movement Dandian was looking for. I am sure it was just a bird, Dandian says, climbing from his seat. Are you all ready to head back out? He asks the slaves before him. With a sigh, they all nod. Just a few more hours, and we will all be back in our beds, he tells the slaves, waving his hand toward the field. The group heads into the field. The group heads into the tall stalks and returns to the field. The group heads into the tall stalks and returns to their task of cleaning the rows. The overseer takes a place along the edge and patrols to ensure the slaves stay on tasks. Patrols to ensure the slaves stay on task and do not run. Dandian is not worried about the humans. His master slaves are good for humans. Dandian's ears twitch when the crack of a whip echoes over the breeze-swept fields. His eyes lock on another overseer at the well. The elemental hovers over a human. The elemental hovers over the human cowering before him. Dandian sees the elemental raising his whip again. The catfolk rushes toward the well and grabs the young overseer's wrist before the man can bring the whip down on the sniveling slave. Blazing orange eyes lock with Dandian's as the fire elemental rounds on the other overseer. "What are you doing?" the elemental snaps. "What am I doing? What are you doing, Kalel?" Dandian's kind eyes land on the human. The worker still has an arm out in front of herself to protect himself, dude. And actually, I think you might be a little too mad at that. Let me go back. The elemental snaps. "What?" Try that again. Snaps. "What am I doing? What are you doing, Kalel?" Dandian's kind eyes land on the human. The worker still has an arm in front of himself to protect his face from any other whippings. "I am punishing the slave." Kalel yanks his wrist from Dandian's grasp and turns to the human. "This piece of shit thought I would drink from the same bucket as these scumlickers." The elemental spit on the ground between himself and the human. The slave drops his gaze to the dirt and does nothing to rise. Dandian sighs and waves to the other slaves to help the man from the ground. He turns to Kalel and puts a hand on his whip, just in case. Another slave steps forward and helps the downed man to his feet. "Everyone back to work. I need to have a word with our new overseer." Dandian barks at the gathered slaves. The group bows and quickly vanishes into the field on the other side of the well. Soon, all that the overseers can see is the tops of their tools before those too disappear. "What the fuck was that?" Kalel shoves Dandian. The catfolk growls and looks down at the elemental, who hardly comes up to his chin. The fire elemental seems to sizzle under the gaze of the larger man, but the fury in the younger man's eyes is plain. "I was saving one of our mistress's people. Do you think Lady Clearwater wants her property damaged?" Dandian retorts through clenched fangs. "It is a fucking human." Kalel spits on the ground between them. Dandian rubs a hand down his face and takes a breath to calm himself. "Look, I know they do things differently in the Four Elements Coalition, but in the Republic we respect our slaves for the people they are. That human has a name and is paid a small wage for his work. Jensen did nothing wrong by offering you water." As I stumble on water, because I might need some. "His work. Jensen did nothing wrong by offering you water. It was a sign of respect. The disrespect you showed him in return will not be forgotten by the slaves on this plantation. The catfolk shakes his head. If you cannot see past your hatred, it would be wise to seek other employment in the Republic. Dandian pushes past the elemental and marches back to his post. His charges are all going about their duties without provocation. The humans before him know their place, just as he does. His whip at his hip has only been used once in his tenure on the Clearwater estate, and that was to drive off a puma from the Fertile Valley. The humans sing as they work. The thunks of their tools into the sun-baked rows add a rhythm to their songs. Dandian finds himself tapping his toes to their song. His duty is one of leisure. Their song. His duty is one of leisure. Movement at the edge of the field draws his attention. More urgent. Leisure. Movement at the edge of the field draws his attention. A flock of birds lifts into the sky, squawking their displeasure. Dandian's eyes search the shadows within the trees. I don't like that inflection. Let's try it again. Displeasure. Dandian's eyes search the shadows within the trees. Something shifts in the darkness, something large. His eyes widen as he strains to see it again, but the movement is gone. He is grateful when it is time to usher the humans into their mess hall and barracks. Kal-El glares daggers at Dandian while they follow the humans to their barn for the evening. Dandian ignores the young overseer and smiles at his charges as they wish him a good night. Good night. Have a good night, everyone. Get some rest. I jumped the gun a little bit there. Let me pull that back. There we go. I heard something. I don't know what it was, but thank you. Give him a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Get some rest. Oh, a little heart. Thank you, Native Omen. Good to see you again. Get some rest. Rest. Dandian bows slightly to the humans, much to Kal-El's horror. Rest. Dandian bows slightly to the humans, much to Kal-El's horror. A few of the men smirk knowingly. Thank you, Dandian, Jensen says in passing as he heads to the two-story building that houses the human males at night. Just doing my job, Jensen. Have a good night. Dandian pats the man on the back. Dandian waits patiently for the humans to file into the barn before closing the door. He slides the lock across the front and turns to see Kal-El already marching down the path toward the estate a few hundred paces away. I hope that tomorrow is a better day for you, Kal-El, Dandian says to the retreating elemental. Is that a threat, Dandian? Kal-El demands, spinning on his heels. No, young man, that is the truth. If you cannot find respect for the workers of this plantation, then I will make sure you do not work here. Dandian marches past the elemental without another word. Kal-El glares at Dandian's back as the setting sun causes the catfolk's fur to glow like a halo. Sound behind him attracts Kal-El to the woodline, his eyes searching the deepening shadows, when there is another crack of a branch from within the dense forest. I left home to get away from all the trees, he growls, before following the catfolk. And we will stop there. And that was part of the first short story in this 6 short story collection called Black Bark. The short story is the entire collection is called Lore by Megan Russ. If you type in !book, it might even tell you where you can pick up a copy if you liked it. All right, let me scroll because I missed a lot of stuff while I read there. A lot. Kim, hello. Hey. All right, I think I saw everything. Oh, Nick, also, hello. Thank you for the heart. I think that's what I missed. And you shared the live. Thank you. Thank you for the heart there. Oh, man, let's see here. Yeah, you're live. I am live. I am live indeed. Love the accent. Well, thank you. Freaking amazing right before the action. Love it. Now I want the rest. I know, right? That's how it's supposed to leave you, right? Cliffhang you, and then you're like, but what about the shadows? What was in the woods? There's action coming. What? Well, now you got to get the book and find out what happens. Right? Right? Yeah, I went with I took a gamble on the accent for the cat folk. I'm like, well, cat folk, they purr. That's kind of an R sound. I'll use an accent and roll every R I can get the opportunity to roll. I don't know if it was great or not. I was like, yeah, we'll try it. We'll see. We'll see. You know, part of Whiskey Wednesday 2 is experimentation, right? You got to get that. Exactly. Leave us wanting more. Exactly. Just wait till he has to speak Elvish. Dun dun dun. Yeah, right. Reminded me of Khajiit from Elder Scrolls. I know I misspelled that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the Khajiit. However you would spell that. I think you did a pretty good job. That's probably pretty close. It might even be like spot on. All right. All right. So, whiskey, one of mine has Elvish? Oh, no. All right. Okay. Or multiple Aussies. Oh, Kim. That was the worst, honestly. That was probably the worst. I'm like, great. I'm terrible at an Aussie accent, and I'm going to have to do it in front of an Aussie. But here we goes nothing, you know. All right, so Whiskey Wednesday wouldn't be complete without whiskey, but I guess it's not going to be complete because this isn't whiskey. So I grabbed a random tasting thing from my shelf, and it happens to be the category vodka, the master class. It has a question mark on it. So let's open it up. Let's own it. Okay, well, that's all we get. So, okay. Well, at least it was easy to open. We'll see what we got. Oh, it kind of says on the front of these ones, not just ABC. Cool. All right, so we'll just take the first one in the front here, and we'll see what it says. We're going to partake of the Stillery First Dinkel Wheat Vodka. No idea what that means. I've decided you're the dad's voice when I do finish it. Okay, all right, cool. I better work on that accent. My republic is the south of Toon country, so the accents worked for it. Oh, okay. Of Toon, yeah, Toon country. Okay, got it. Yeah, I thought about too with like the fire elementals because like the ones on the farm giving them like maybe a southern thing, but I was like, nah, I don't know if that's like too heavy-handed or not, but just to torture me, yeah, right. Yeah, the country, right? Well, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. There's only one way to get better at things, and that's to practice, right? So I'll just call you like every day before we get ready to narrate that, and then we'll just, you have to listen to my horrible Australian attempt at an Australian accent, It's Matt, Fields of Books I Love. I love that username. Hello and welcome. Wait till we get to my Norse origins. Dun, dun, dun. Right? Sounds great. We can talk Wiggles. Hey, you were the one that put me on to the techno Wiggles. And, I've got to say, it's pretty darn good. Thanks. You are welcome. You are welcome. Fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. Wait for the drop. All right. Which one is this one? Oh, okay, I see. Got it. It's on the back of them. Okay, so the Stillery First Dinkel Wheat Vodka. What are we supposed to taste? It has like a cool little like flavor wheel of what we're supposed to taste. We'll see. So we're supposed to get white chocolate, almond, sounding good so far, grain, malt, okay, citrus, black pepper, carbon, and biscuit. And I think it might be an American biscuit. So, because that looks like an American biscuit as opposed to like the English biscuit. All right, it sounds like it's going to be sweet and malty with a hint of black pepper and some burnt stuff. That's what I think. Like carbon, isn't carbon like the stuff that like the buildup that gets on like your toast when you burn it? You know what I mean? Isn't that carbon? Like charcoal, yeah, like like biting a brick. That doesn't sound pleasing to me. Maybe that's an aroma, right? It says it's supposed to be on the, I think that's the back end. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It sounds interesting. It sounds interesting. I don't know. I thought vodka was supposed to be pretty like flavorless, but maybe not. It sounds like more vodka than I've had. But vodkas are the reason oh no. The reason I haven't drank in 25 years. Well, hey, I don't blame it. Maybe it's a smoky taste. Maybe it's like a like a peaty kind of thing in the vodka world or something. Or did they char the barrel? You know what, Native Omen? You might be right. Maybe that's what they mean by carbon because maybe it's a charred barrel. Ah, no blue drinks that say "drink me," or what are the blue drink that says "drink me" and then isn't there a red one? Alice in Wonderland, right? That's what you're referring to. Oh damn it! Now I can't remember because it's the blue pill, red pill. That's where the Matrix got it. Yes, everyone shows up for the drink. Yeah, yeah. The story's over, but just so you know, afterwards, in case you missed the story, which was fantastic, highly encourage you to do this, or the cake. That's right. Go to the tubes of the red thing of views. You know what I mean? Tomorrow, and a replay will be up on there. A replay will be up. So if you missed it, it'll be up. Okay? The story is great. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And you've read it 2 times, so you would know. If you only read it once, it could be okay. But you read it twice, which means it has to be great, right? I don't read many things more than 1 time. You know what I mean? Except for every audiobook I do. I guess I do read it multiple times, but that's different, right? Just for like fun, Good, been in and out and editing, awesome. I love all her work, awesome. Yeah, this is the first Megan Russ story I've been exposed to, and I really like it. I want to finish the rest of it now, that's for sure. I noticed the other day, Weeb's book isn't on tubes. Oh, well, that's because I had a thing that was doing that I built that was automatically transferring the recordings to the other place. Well, it broke, and you can only go back so far and retrieve them. So I lost a bunch of them that I thought they were being moved over. I was wrong, and that's on me. I should have double checked, but he's got like the cleaned up demo version of it though. It's just we don't have the replay on it. And then there was one of Nick Plume's, which got the first part of it because we did 2, one from Prowler and one from the next book. One of them got garbled from Wilder. Prowler got garbled, and so I just used the one from Wilder. I know it is rude, isn't it? The tube being mean, right? I think it was more of my. I think I did there's some kind of error in my code for the thing that I built. It didn't work right. Because it was transferring them, then it just stopped. So I don't know what I did. It's probably on me. So it was definitely on me. But let's give us a smell to our. That's what you're supposed to do first, right? To the distillery first. Dinkelwheat. That's a funny name. Vodka. All right, here we go. Smells like vodka. A slight turpentine aroma. I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking forward to this. Hopefully it tastes better than it smells. I also have a small cut on my lip, I just noticed. That's not bad. That's not bad. Stripping paint. Dinkle. Dinkle. Dinkle wheat. First Dinkle wheat vodka. I feel like that's how you're supposed to say it. You got the Dinkle wheat up in there. All up in there with that Dinkle wheat. My dad used to say, 1 Dinkle wheat a day. I'm going to stop before everybody leaves. Not bad, though, but I do have a cut. That sucks. It is very, okay, it has the sweet notes. White chocolate is a stretch. I don't get almond at all. I have the right thing. I do. Malt? Yeah, a little bit. There's a little bit of that maltiness in there. Black pepper? No. Carbon? I still don't know what the heck is carbon. And biscuit? This is not a biscuit. I'll tell you that. The one thing that it is not is biscuit. I don't know what kind of biscuits you've been eating, but that's not a biscuit. That's a biscuit if you, like, soaked it in paint thinner. I'm not selling this one. As you can tell, I'm not sponsored by it. Let me do the puzzle. All right, nailed it first time. It's not bad, though. It's sweet up front. I don't get hints of really anything that it talks about on the thing. Maybe a little bit of that maltiness, but I would say more like the sweetness would be like sugar, like almost like right away like a sugar cookie or something, like super like sweet, not like super saccharine or anything, but it's definitely got like a sweetness to it, like almost vanilla, but there's no like notes of vanilla, if that makes sense. It's just really sweet, like sugary kind of. And then it instantly becomes some weird flavor I can't place. Maybe that's the carbon. And then as you breathe out, there's that definite paint thinner note, which is not pleasant to me. But okay, maybe I'm not a vodka person. I don't know. I'm not really selling this. I'm really looking forward to the other two with this experience. I can't wait to get into them. Maybe this thing will accidentally fall on the ground. Oh no! I'll give it to someone. I don't know. It is vodka. That is for sure. Maybe it's just not my cup of. It's not tea. Cup of alcohol. I don't know. That's just. God, it does not smell good. It definitely tastes better than it smells. I'll give it that. And I think that might be like a common kind of thing between vodkas. Like they don't. I don't think I've ever heard anybody like pick up a vodka and be like, "Oh, that smells great." Like, maybe I haven't been around too many people that drink vodka. I don't know. I prefer gin. Me too. I like that juniper taste. I actually really like the juniper, like Bombay, Beefeater, like all those. They're not bad. There was one. Oh, what one? What was it called? Oh man, I'm not gonna remember it. I can see the bottle. It's gone. If I remember it, I'll bring it up, I guess, later. But I'm with you there. Not that ginger tea from earlier. No. Right. Try gin. Oops, my hand slipped moment. Yeah, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about, Native Omen. I would say if one of you likes it, I would send it to you, but I think there's all kinds of legalities about how I can't do that. But, it's because the government likes to shut down our fun, I thought we ended Prohibition. I didn't like regular gin. I like slow gin. Yes, slow gin is I prefer margaritas. I like some margaritas too. Oh, there's this tequila. It's kind of like a tequila mix, speaking of margaritas, called Butterfly Cannon. And it is fantastic. You could just drink the stuff by itself. Not that I have. It's so good. If you can find it, Butterfly Cannon. And it comes in like this weird like octangular black bottle. It might not be 8. It might be 10 or 6 or I don't know. It's got multi sides to it. I think it might be 8. I don't know. I'm trying to go off of memory, but it's really good. It makes the best margaritas. Watermelon margaritas with tahini. Okay. I love me some tahini. I like margaritas. Watermelon, you've piqued my interest. I've never had one of these, but I'm seeking it out because that sounds delicious. That sounds absolutely delicious. I would definitely drink that. Yeah, I'm going to imagine that. while I drink this. It's really good. I like it. Well, there goes my vodka sponsorship. That's never happening. Watermelon and tahini are a great combo. Anyways, yes, absolutely, Megan. I love it. I like just tahini by itself. They make this tahini that's a habanero, so it's a little bit spicier than like the normal red. It's kind of yellowish, or at least the bottle's yellow. I don't know what color it is, but anyway, I'll like. All right, here's a little secret. I'll just eat it straight by itself sometimes. Like, why do I do that? I don't know. I'm usually like putting it on something like vegetables or fruit, but then if nobody's looking, I'm like, I don't know, because I'm a kid. It didn't look like that worked out. Yeah, no, it really didn't. It's really good. He likes it. As it dribbles down his chin while he's crying and smiling. Almost. It's not that bad. It's just, I wouldn't choose it out of a line. Like, if they told me, like, here's your choices, I would probably pick the other thing, depending on what it was. But no judgment here. Yeah. Gary, yes, that's exactly, yeah. That's almost exactly spot on. That's good. That's good. As, like, I drink it more, there's that, like, terrible aftertaste. But as I drink it more, like, the upfront flavor of it is not too bad. I think it's because maybe it's like my tongue is like dying, so I'm not tasting all the other stuff, so it's becoming more pleasant. I don't know. That's not a technical term. I am not a vodka taster. Like an actual person that like gets paid to taste this kind of stuff would be like, "What are you doing? Just stop." As he drinks more, it gets worse. No, it gets better. It does get better. The aftertaste doesn't get better, but the other flavors get better. That's like there's like a weird taste in the middle of it that I can't decide if it's good or bad because I don't know what it is. It's definitely not a biscuit or almonds. That's for damn sure. Like if it was like white chocolate flavored in the very beginning, I could probably almost forgive everything else. You know what I mean? But they lied to me. Like I'm not lying. Like look, it says white chocolate. Not even close. That's the carbon. Yeah. No kidding. The more you drink, the better it will taste. Yeah. So why don't you like the steak? Because vodka killed my buds, dude. Yeah, no kidding. As part of me died, I started to enjoy the suffering. Yeah, there you go. The white chocolate would have been perfect, right? Yeah, the white chocolate, it would have been like, that would have set it up. That would have been good. I could forgive pretty much anything else after that. Almost. Like if it tasted like, I don't know, pea or something. I don't know. I probably wouldn't forgive that, but I'm not saying this tastes like pee. Because that'd be weird. Because I'm still drinking it. It's the clickbait on paper, man. No kidding. Doesn't that sound pleasant? You're exactly right. White chocolate, yeah. Almond, yeah. Malt, okay. Wheat, all right. Citrus, yeah. Black pepper, sometimes. Carbon, biscuit, yeah. It's almost all the way around. You know what I mean? It is not in flavor. It's kind of like, oh, yeah. No, I don't. Is that? That's my flavor wheel. Very descriptive. I should write these things. It's just noises. It's just noises that I write down on a circle. And how do you know what what it tastes like? Pee. I mean, I know what it smells like, so I can interpret what that flavor would be like. If I did know. I haven't had enough of those to tell you that story. You should. All right, right. The things. All right, hopping off to eat dinner. You did amazing. I can't wait to talk to you more. Absolutely fantastic story, Megan, and it was really, really fun to read, and it was a good story. Stories. The introduction was amazing, and the first story the first story is good. I read all of it, but the the half that we got to read, I think it was really good for the stream as well. So again, one more time, type in !book in chat and it'll tell you how to pick up your very own copy if you want to pick up a copy now and figure out what happens. What's that dark thing in the forest? What's the shadows? It's big. Is it big? I don't know. Find out. Yeah, I need to get with you too. Okay, awesome. Ammonia flavored, unless you're you're diabetic. Yeah. No kidding. Native Owen, thank you very much. Thank you. And thanks for all the likes, guys. Yeah, thanks for joining me this evening. This was fun. We have to do it again sometime. Oh, wait, we are. Next Wednesday, we'll be doing another Whiskey Wednesday from another talented author in the indie community here. And I swear that I tell myself every time I'm going to be prepared for this, and I am definitely not every time. I even looked at it because I scheduled more people in to 2 months from now, and I looked at it. Do I remember? No. Oh, I actually already had it open. Sick. Sign in. I'm going to tell you here in a second. I promise. It will happen. I won't. On your phone, confirm whether it's you. I'm going to tell you here in a second. I promise. It will happen. I won't. On your phone, confirm whether it's you. Yes, it is. Pause the live stream, I'm sure, when I had to do that. Okay. Let's see who we got coming up here. Megan Russell, which is what we just did. Oh, we have Eddie Hammond with The Sundering Prophecy. What is that about? I don't know. It'll be a surprise till next time. Because what's the one thing I forgot to write down on my spreadsheet in front of me? What the book's about. You're welcome. I bet you it's about a prophecy that may or may not be sundering. Oops. It'll be good, though. It'll be good. You don't have a calendar. Who's book? You don't have a calendar in front of you still? No, it's because I work in my office upstairs during the day, so I'm doing my day job, and I'm definitely not working on this stuff while I'm at my day job ever. And I'm writing it down on my calendar up there, but it never makes its way down here because then I'll forget it down here. Then I'm gonna run back down the stairs, and so I just keep it up there. But I have a second copy online where I keep track of all of it for scheduling purposes, of which I messed up last time and I double booked somebody because I'm dumb. Thank you, everybody, for being flexible. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I don't. You know what? Okay, look, we're here. Let me just look it up what it is. It's in my email. Oh, actually, hold on. Did he fill out the form? No, it wasn't my email. Okay, I was right. Let me just check my email. I'll tell you what it's about. What else we got to do, right? Nothing. We're hanging out. Thank you for the share there, Amy. Nice to see you again. Hello. Oh, it filtered out your thing there, Kim. Let me unfilter that for you. I don't know why TikTok decides to do that sometimes. You didn't even type anything close to being bad. There we go. M told me she sent hers. She did. She very much did. And I have that. And hers will be on the... There it is. On the 1st of April. April Fool's Day. Okay. Well, it is not an April Fool's joke. It will be her chapter, Under the Same Night Sky, which I am super excited to read. I am a big fan of M just as a person, so I want to read her book. Okay, so we were doing Edmund. No, not Lanisha. What was his last name again? Eddie. Well, if I would have typed in the name right. Hammond. Okay, there he is. Bootity boo. Oh. Okay, I do remember this now. Okay. Let me open up the thingamathanger. I hate how it like collapses your messages sometimes on Gmail. You know, or it like squeezes them all down to the thing. You know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, he's a former Marine. Well, Semper Fi. Thank you for your service, sir. Let me see here. No, I want to know what the thing is about. I'll have to read it to find out because it didn't include that. So I just got to read it and figure it out. But it is generally about it is an epic fantasy, blending realism with mythic scale. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So that's generally what it's about. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, Native Omen. Thanks for stopping by. So that's what we'll be doing next. Will be his story called The Sundering Prophecy. That should be fun. I will see you all next time. Oh, and I'll be putting out a video here soon to announce it, but I will be doing the entire audiobook for Nick Plume's Prowler. So I'll be streaming, I believe, at least some of that here on the live stream. So an actual audiobook you'll get to see me do here probably starting next week. Probably. So more stuff to come, and probably more Steel Rift stuff too if you were here for that yesterday, because I have a whole mess load of short stories to go along with that, and some other kind of fun stuff to go along with it. So we'll have a lot of fun with that one. We'll do it up. We shall. But I think the next time that you will see me will probably be maybe next Monday, unless I decide to stream some editing or something. But definitely next Wednesday. So I'll see you all then, 6 p.m. PST-ish time. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you all have a good night, and you're consuming something way better than this that I will definitely drink and not just pour out into the sink after you're all gone. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.